Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
To the greatest sports show on the planet, La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
What up, man? Scruff, Skywalker, man. You know what time it is. It's time for Gas Present Sports for the Culture. I'm the host for the evening. We're going to keep it real efficient tonight. Top left, introduce yourself.
Oh, man, excuse me. At Bryce, XXV, Double I, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer. Hey, man, good to be back, man. I feel like if I miss 1 week of the show, I feel like I missed a month of the show, man. It's good to see y'all boys. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Bottom center.
What's up, guys? Let's have a good show.
Okay. All right, let's get it. All right, bet. Let's get into it, man. Let's jump into the big breaking news of the day. We're gonna we'll talk about many would consider one of the better coaches of our timeline. Mike Tomlin parting ways with the Pittsburgh Steelers after the wild card game. What's your thoughts on Tomlin stepping down with Pittsburgh? Do you think he retires? You think he takes some time off, or what's next for Tomlin and what's next for the Steelers? Bryce, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
What's next for the Steelers? I've got no clue, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I thought Tomlin was the last of a dying breed. I thought Tomlin was gonna retire with the Steelers the same way, we saw Kobe retire with the Lakers. I thought he was one of those type, right? I never expected this, honestly. And my first thought is that the Steelers might realize that the grass is not greener on the other side. But we'll see, bro. We'll see. They obviously got confidence in what they can make happen from a coach perspective. We talk about a coach that has not had a losing season. You really wonder what direction the Steelers take. If I had to guess, I would say the Steelers go after a coach that's super young. I mean, we might when they hired Mike Tomlin. Let's not forget he was super young, right? He was on. People were kind of questioning if he was ready to be a coach, if he had the type of experience, and he lasted 19 years with no losing season. So I would expect the Steelers to go back into that mold of a coach that they can groom from a very early point in their career. Maybe someone from within the organization that we did not expect at all, that they've had their eyes on, that they've kind of identified as the next in line. But I would not expect a splash coach signing from the Steelers. I wouldn't expect it to be a Harbaugh or a Pete Carroll or name that coach with a resume, right? I'd expect them to kind of follow the same mold they did with Tomlin.
No, you're right about that, bro. The Steelers typically not really going out for no big splash names, but they typically they breed the culture that they breed. You know what I'm saying? They're very selective about it. They build that thing up. They usually do find somebody that's usually it might seem like an odd pick to us, but organizationally it's a great pick for them. G, what's your thoughts here on Tomlin and Pittsburgh parting ways? And let's be clear, he was not fired.
Yeah, he was not fired. No, I think retires. I don't think he's that kind of coach that cares so much for a ceremony to be praised. He did his job. He's the kind of guy that gives you the perspective, I just come to punch in, and hopefully we get to win games, Sometimes it's not his decision whether the plays that he calls actually are 100% made. But I don't think this is the kind of guy that wants to coach for any other team. He was the Steelers through in and throughout. And he's going to remain a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach on his resume. I think he goes to the broadcasting side of it and just go from there on. When it comes to the Steelers, if you're the Steelers, you're going to do what Steelers do. They only had, 4 head coaches in their whole franchise? Which is
since 1969.
But still, 4? And most teams run through coaches every 3 to 4 years.
Facts.
So this when it comes to the Steelers, I'm gonna agree with what Bryce said earlier. They're gonna get someone young, from someone that either is a coordinator of the special teams like Tomlin was going into it, or from the defense. I mean, that's the only staple that they really have right now when it comes to, because they don't have a quarterback, which is what they're lacking in, and the receivers are like, besides DK, very mid. So
Tomlin was a defensive coordinator, but
it wasn't special teams.
no. But one thing I'll say here though with this whole thing, man, I know everybody think about the Steelers' perspective of it. I'm thinking about Tomlin's perspective with this whole situation. Personally, I feel like Tomlin, if I'm being honest, I think that there was a point where Tomlin was held up by the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? You know, it's like we elevated this man, you know what I'm saying? We put him in a position, you know, Super Bowl, you know, you got the legacy, the aura, with the, you know what I mean, all that stuff. But now it's gotten to the point where I feel like Tomlin was being held back by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I wholeheartedly feel that way. When I watch what Pittsburgh has been putting out on the football field the last couple of years, man, organizationally, my personal philosophy when it comes to organization is you need to be aligned on 3 levels. Owner, well, 4 levels. Owner, GM, coach, quarterback, right? And you can't do that properly when your quarterback sucks, all right? Because then you haven't had a good quarterback in Pittsburgh since Ben Roethlisberger retired. So that's a problem. You feel me? So, you know, Tomlin's tired of this shit, man. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Tomlin is like that loyal person, you know what I'm saying, in a fucked up relationship. You're just like, you know what? I'm tired of this cold chicken, man. I'm sick of this shit. And that's how I look at it, bro. That's why I said mutually parted ways, because, you know, otherwise they probably would just say, you know what, it ain't broken, don't fix it, man. Just make that, you know, fix it, keep it going. We're gonna keep it going next season, right? Tomlin, I think, need a little break, and I think he angling smart, bro. And my prediction is he's gonna probably be in a booth next year. He takes some time off, is what I'm hearing, but I think he's playing chess, not checkers, and I think he's waiting for the right job.
Oh, here you go with your bullshit, man. I already know where you're going with this.
Don't
I already know where you're going with this, but like, I gotta ask the question because, like, you know, you make a good point, right? Like, because it's like Tomlin didn't have a quarterback the last few seasons, right? And like, I guess from outside looking in, there's a couple questions that you got to ask. Like, one is like, why, and what was his role in not having that quarterback? You know what I mean? Like, what was his role? What was his say within the organization to where, like, could he say, hey, we need to spend this first round pick on somebody? They tried with who? They tried with was it Pickett? They drafted.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They tried, yeah. So they tried with Pickett, and that didn't work out. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Pickett was gonna be solid coming out, but he didn't materialize. I felt like he had another shot this season, bro. I feel like Shador Sanders fell into the Steelers' lap and Mike Tomlin's lap, and they passed on him. And I feel like that would have been perfect. But we got to ask the question, like, what role did Tomlin play in not having the quarterback? I mean, if you're in the spot for 19 seasons, you would assume that you got enough pull and enough weight in that organization to, like, make something shake for the most important position on the field. And that, you know, all the football knowledge Mike Tomlin has, he obviously knows how important the quarterback position is. So,
nah, see, I don't put that on Tomlin, though. I don't put that on Tomlin. I'm not going to infer his pull within the building. You know, with an organization run, I don't know how the Rooney's is running the organization. At the end of the day, if I'm blaming somebody for that, I'm blaming the general manager, Omar Khan.
You could blame the head coach because eventually it's 19 years. Like, you got to know how to scout a quarterback. Like, you knew you were always gonna be in a predicament. Like, you're not gonna get
for most of his career, bro.
And you know what's crazy about this? We're not gonna talk about how he messed up on Lamar Jackson, because Lamar Jackson was the last pick in the first round.
Bro, we gonna put that on Mike Tomlin, bro. There was 32 teams.
Yes, because you literally are the head coach. You gotta ask for a quarterback. Like, yo, I need a quarterback. Like, Ben is gonna be out of the window. It's like what Bryce alluded to. Like, your word comes with pull, and you know, like, yo, this is what you need. Mind you, Mike Tomlin also brought in Arthur Smith, he's such a mid offensive coordinator.
Why do people think Mike Tomlin makes these decisions, bro?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he does, but I'm just saying you got to ask the question at some point, right? Like, it's a conversation I think that's worth having. Well, I'll put it like this. I feel like we need more answers. Another thing I got to say, bro, I'm not so much buying, like, bro, I can't buy that he didn't get fired. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that it's reported that he didn't get fired, but, bro, like, sometimes when an organization respects you enough, bro, and they want you gone, they have what we call a sit down. All right? They sit you down. They say, look, bro, You need to go out gracefully, or you can get this axe. All right. And I wouldn't be shocked if that's what it was for real, bro. Like I feel like they let my man go out gracefully. I don't think that the organization didn't push him out though. Like, I think they pushed him out, bro. Like straight up. And that being the case, it's nasty work, bro. It's nasty work, and they're gonna find out the hard way, in my opinion. I think the Steelers are, gonna face some rough times ahead before they get back to glory at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're gonna suck for a little bit, to be honest.
I mean, but
Maybe
what is
like,
it?
what does that team like? What does that team really have as far as like building blocks go? Young building blocks go on either side of the ball. Like they
TJ
got an
Watt,
older team.
and that's
Don't get
it.
me wrong. TJ Watt is a dog, but TJ Watt's got to be approaching 30. Shit, JJ damn near 40. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They gotta be somewhat close in age, right? And then like the receivers, they traded the young receiver to get an old receiver, right? Not to say DK's old. I mean, probably 26, 20. He's not that old, but I mean, like, bruh, you had a young budding one, and you traded it for DK, which made sense at the time. Looked right with Rodgers, but it seemed like to me, bruh, Steelers kind of went. I don't want to say all in, but they tried to make Rodgers as comfortable as possible. Now they're looking at they're in a position where like they haven't really built all that well for the future. But we'll see how it shakes out. I could be wrong here.
Nah, you're right, bro. You're 100% right. They're hustling backwards, is what I'll call it. But let's keep it pushing, man. Really no need to discuss the Steelers Texans game because we kind of just discussed it in a sense because that's what the result was, right? Texans move on. Some other good matchups over the weekend, though. We had a couple what we would say underdogs, you know what I'm saying, win. 49ers were the biggest underdog that won, against the Eagles at home on the road in Philadelphia. We're going to talk a little bit about that for sure. The Bears won an underdog situation where they were at home, technically, but they were an underdog against the Packers. And we did have an underdog situation with the Bills beating the Jaguars, if you can call them the underdog. But out of the underdog situations of the weekend, man, which of the underdog situations is the most surprising for you? What was the most impressive win for a dog this weekend? GM, start with you on this one.
Give me the 49ers. The fact that they were able to win without the number one weapon in offense, with Kittle being hurt and tearing an ACL, and the fact that they got the offense kept on clicking. Even with McCaffrey, sometimes we thought McCaffrey was going to be stagnant and just being the only offensive weapon there. Look at Brock Purdy. Like, not for nothing, the talk of Brock Purdy being a game manager has to go out the window. If he makes a run to the Super Bowl, like, that is out of the window now because now it's legit just him, a McCaffrey that's barely there, and the defense that keeps on playing above expectation.
That's a fact, bro. Like I agree with G there, man. It got to be the Niners. G hit on all the points, bro. Like they did it with less than everybody else. And on top of that, bro, like man, I'm Kyle Shanahan, bro. I think I'm ready to call him. I think he just overtook, in my eyes, Tomlin is the best coach in the league, bro. Like Kyle Shanahan, bro, can get it done with us three as the weapons. All right, we'll put G at fullback in that Kyle Juszczyk role, and Scruff will be that eligible lineman catching the random touchdowns, catching the random goal line.
Trent Williams, you did Trent Williams.
We put you at tight end. Nah, we weapons, bro. We offensive weapons. We put Scruff at tight end, man.
Trent Williams is the best left tackle of all time. At least in my time.
I said weapons though, like offensive weapons. My point is though, your man, Kyle Shanahan just gets the shit done, bro. I wasn't too impressed with like the Bears win because I didn't think they should have been underdogs. Like, me and Scruff was watching that game together, and we were looking at this game like, bro, we knew. As soon as we looked at each other like, bro, Bears about to win this shit. It was so obvious, man. I don't know how they were like dogs to the level that they were, especially playing a team that didn't even get double-digit wins in the Packers.
It didn't look good when they were down like 21, but we still felt good enough about it that we was optimistic enough, you know what I'm saying, to play the live bet game. So, like, you know what I mean? I was feeling good about the Bears, man. I was impressed with Caleb Williams. That's my answer. I was most impressed by the Bears, bro, in terms of the dogs. I was impressed by Caleb Williams. I was impressed by the comeback win. I also feel like it's a little bit of like they said that they watched the 28-3 comeback from the Falcons to for the Patriots or whatever in the beginning of the season or some shit. And it's interesting because I didn't know Matt LaFleur was part of that staff. But I also think that's interesting that they watch that and they just do all these come from behind games. It's almost like they created that culture. So just like careful what you wish for with that. So we'll see if they can keep doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, careful what you wish for. Then you start like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy is what it's called.
Oh yeah, it does make sense. I like that reference because wasn't Bryce's new head coach was the offensive coordinator for that team?
No, he was the damn head coach for that team.
He's the head coach actually.
No, not your head coach. I'm talking about fucking the head coach for the 49ers. Wasn't he the offensive coordinator for that team? For that
yeah, Shanahan was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shanahan and then LaFleur was a wow.
Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, we're gonna table that one. If that matchup does happen, that would be very
that'd be wild if they end up in Atlanta.
That would be crazy as hell. But yeah, no, I'm like what I'm saying with the Bears, man. The cheese grating, I was all for it. All right, let's keep it pushing, man. G, last week you wore Josh Allen jersey, and then you took it off, and then you picked the Jaguars. Speak for yourself. Answer for your
crazy work, bro.
He almost won the game, but it wasn't for I credit the defense more on anything than a bad throw. The defense punched the ball in the air, and there comes the other defender to catch it. That wasn't so much of a Lawrence fault. It was more the defense just made the better play at the better option. Because look, the commentator said, "Yo, they don't really need to go that far. They just need to get to the 50-yard line." And Buddy could kick the tying game. So for me, it's just like I was more impressed about the Jags. The Jags look like a team to be in a reckoning pretty soon, man. This is going to be one of those teams you want to look out for from here on out. And for the Bills, like the Bills got to play a lot better. It is only going to get tougher from here on out. And this is literally supposed to be their easy win to the Super Bowl with no Patrick Mahomes and no Lamar Jackson.
Wow, it's almost like I said this last week. The Bills is getting the
all right, Nostradamus. My bad, Nostradamus. Nostradamus in the building.
No, but you had the jersey on. You had everything right. You just had to be a dickhead, bro. You feel me? You had the jersey on, bro. You could just kept the jersey on. The path of least resistance is going to lead you to the promised land, bro. But
so you're not going to tell me that the
you know what? I like the Jaguars. You're like, nah, bro.
Nah, whatever. So you to say the Jaguars didn't play a competitive game is crazy.
Nah, the Jaguars are a good team, bro. But at the end of the day, bro, if you telling me is Josh Allen and the Bills going against the Jaguars, I'm gonna take the Bills, bro. It is what it is, man. What I see here is the stage is set, bro. I see the stage set for Josh Allen to make his run through the playoffs, bro. No Lamar Jackson. No Patrick Mahomes. This is an open net. No goalie. You got to take a shot at the basket, bro. So this is it. That's it. Very impressed with the Bills. I'm not very impressed. I was impressed enough with them.
But you know what I also say to that, Scrub? Because I agree with you. I feel like you making a point that I really didn't think of. I missed last week's show. I'm kind of blown out NCG make a fool of himself. But yeah, so like.
Oh, but I would have been Nostradamus if this shit did that.
You would have been Nostradamus. You was a tip pass.
Downplay him is crazy to me. But
you was a tip pass away from being Nostradamus. But Scruff, you make a great point with Josh Allen, right? And I didn't think of it like that. But now I got to ask myself, like, what does it mean if he doesn't win this? But then on the flip side, in my opinion, this is also the worst team. In my opinion, this is the worst team Josh Allen has had to this point. I get that James Cook is probably playing at a level that, a running back level that Josh Allen's never had. But just from a team perspective, bro, like they don't have that dominant defense with everybody flying around with, Hyde and Tremaine Edmonds and crazy pass rush. Like they don't have that no more. They don't have elite outside weapons. They don't have receiver 1A, 1B going crazy every week. You know what I'm saying? They got Dalton Kincaid, who seems to get hurt here and there, get dinged up. You know what I'm saying? They don't get me wrong. He's turned Shakir into a viable weapon, but, Keon Coleman it hasn't become what we thought he would be, right? Like this might be Josh Allen's worst, although it's his best opportunity, might be his worst team, which is an interesting kind of dynamic right there.
Nah, for sure. It reminded me of the teams that Donovan McNabb used to have back in the day with like all them trash receivers when they used to make the MC championship game. You'd carry them there, and then they just, you know what I mean? Anyway.
But then he threw up when he had T.O., but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, hopefully Josh Allen up in the huddle. But yeah, I like what I'm seeing. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the Bills, obviously, because they advanced. Rams advanced. I will highlight you. We're not gonna really talk about it too much. But we'll highlight you for saying correctly that the Panthers were going to keep that game close. And that was exactly what happened. But Stafford said he was going to rip their hearts out, and he did. Valiant effort, though.
Wait, he really said that? He really said those words?
Yeah. It was in the post game. He was like, "Yeah, let's go snatch." I think he said, "Well, let's go snatch something." He said something, and then Devontae Adams was like, his exact words were, "Let's go snatch these guys' hearts out, or snatch these guys' hearts from them, or something like that."
Damn.
He was like, "That's pretty badass." But anyway, Patriots Chargers. That game was disgusting, in my opinion. It was a horrible game. Wow. Not impressed with either team in that game. I don't know what y'all thought about that one.
Hold on. I never want Rome to talk about Justin Herbert like he's not Phillip Rivers Jr. anymore. The man's a bust, but continue.
Bust is taking it far, but man, like he is not clutch, bro. This is like now what 3 or 4 playoff games where he's just been a no-show. He's not clutch. At one point, he had like 93 yards, and it was midway through the fourth quarter. I'm like, bro, what are you doing, bro? And hey, granted, give credit where credit's due. That Patriots D line was on his ass, bro. I'm not gonna lie, they was on it. They was on him. But at the same time, bro, like, dog, he was not getting the quick game there. Like it was opportunities for him to make bank, and he didn't get it done, bro. And then at the very end, it's like he finally put his big boy pants on. I was like, I'm just gonna run this shit every play. It's like, bro, you should have done that in the first half, bro.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, I wasn't very impressed. Obviously, they were terrible, but I wasn't very impressed with the Patriots either there. But let's carry that over. Let's roll over into the upcoming week's matchups. We got 4 games here in NFL divisional round.
Are we not gonna shit on the Eagles real quick? In the poo you did? In the poo you talked a lot of shit about the 49ers, but all right.
That's what I was going to do. If we want to talk about the Eagles, I feel like the biggest angle we can talk about. We can talk all day about that shit. We talk about it all fucking season, bro. The offense ain't been good, but the real question, if you want to talk about the Eagles, we don't really have time. But actually, no, we don't have time.
No. Hey, we got time today, my boy. You ain't about to just brush past them bum ass Eagles, all right?
Real quick then with the Eagles. Then you know what I'm saying. Obviously, it was a tough situation. Who's I'm gonna say. I will ask you the question.
Hey, the Eagles got that boy stuttering, don't they?
The real question I wanted to ask y'all was about the Nick Sirianni, AJ Brown blow up on the sideline. I really wanted to talk about that. I want to see what y'all opinions were. Who was in the wrong with that? What are y'all thoughts about that? And obviously, what effect did that possibly have on the game? Bryce, let's start with you.
When I saw that, I felt like my man Loaded Lux. Emotional. All right, that's all I can think. Emotional. Because your man was on the sideline emotional, bro. And I feel like personally, I know that there's a whole bunch of different coaching styles. But to me, the worst coaching style is the one that's emotional. All right, you can't be emotional as a coach, man. And I feel like that's Sirianni's biggest problem. But it's also like, what you gonna tell the dude? He got a Super Bowl ring. You know what I'm saying? You can't really tell him shit. He feels like everything he does is right because technically he is proven. But like I said, there's really 3 different kinds of coaches, right? You got the emotional rah-rah guy. You got the coach where after a drop, he's gonna go up to his player and say, "Don't worry, bro, you're gonna get him next time. We need you. We're gonna need you to win this game." Or you got the coach who's gonna sit back and not say a goddamn thing. He's gonna be the exact same stoic, emotionless Bill Belichick, Mike Tomlin type. No matter what happens, he got the same stone face on, right? The latter 2 are the best 2 to be. The first kind that I mentioned, the emotional, is the worst type to be. The rah-rah guy, the rah-rah coach. man, you just going with the wind, bro. And like your team ends up taking on that personality, and you see when like Sirianni snapping on AJ Brown snapping back. If it wasn't for Big Dom, who knows where that would have went? All right? You got Big Dom.
You're not lying, bro.
The biggest game of the season, Big Dom making an appearance on television because he gets in the
Big
middle.
Dom was actually very important. Big Dom might be the MVP for the game because Sirianni was about to get his ass kicked, bro.
And that's why the Eagles are done, bro. Because of people like Big Dom being the MVP. All right, this is why they're cooked, because Big Dom is now the MVP.
Nah, but on the real though, Saquon had a hell of a game, bro. In my opinion, I thought Saquon played pretty well. I thought the defense played pretty well. I'm just so fucking sick of the play calling, bro. Thank God, Kevin Petula, bro. I can't believe you made it to Tuesday, and you were still in play. I can't believe Mike Tomlin got fucking let go before Kevin Petula, bro. What the fuck is wrong with the organization, bro?
Anyway. A scapegoat. He's a scapegoat, bro. Like, we can blame Kevin Petula all we want. All I know is 5 seasons, 5 offensive coordinators. 3 of them been fired. It ain't Kevin, but at some point when we're gonna say it ain't Kevin Petula, all right? You
honestly,
put anybody in there.
You want my true opinion, bro? Like I guess they can't justifiably fire Sirianni because we just won the Super Bowl last year, right? But I think Sirianni, I've said this in the beginning, I should trust in my gut. Remember my first take on Sirianni was he's a fucking idiot, bro. Like, this guy's a fucking idiot, bro. Like, look at this guy talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he talking about? He was talking about you're going to have simple concepts and blah, blah, blah. Like, I still remember that first presser, and I'll never forget it. So, yeah, I'm not a big Sirianni fan. The fact that he won Super Bowl with me, I got to give him some respect.
Hey.
But I think he was just in the right place at the right time, bro.
He was, and y'all built a hell of a team. But question, when y'all fired Doug Peterson, was that a year after the Super Bowl?
2 years. So
all right, so Sirianni on the hot seat. He got 1 year to prove himself, but we already know. Roseman getting him up out of there.
Otherwise, I know a guy in state that's a very good coach that would never do that to AJ Brown. I just know that he never would do that.
Tomlin's not I don't think Tomlin's a Howie Roseman guy. All right.
Maybe he should be, because that's why he was in Pittsburgh dealing with Mason Rudolph. Gee, man, what's your thoughts, man? Before we move on to the present and the future.
Let's just move on.
All right, cool. Let's move on to the next round. We got some good games here, bro. Good games. I'm gonna start with. We'll start in the order that they are going to be played. Bills and Broncos. It's a hell of a game, man. Probably one of my favorite games of the weekend. I'm waiting all season for the Broncos to be exposed. I think this is the week, bro. I think this is the week. Can't count them out completely because the Broncos do tend to stay in close games, and they do tend to win. They have won those close games this season, but eventually you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose one of them games. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be a trend. I like the Bills in this one, but I want to hear what y'all thoughts are. Bryce, let's start with you.
No, I'm with you, bro. To me, the Broncos are the Bears of the AFC, right? Another team that we just waiting on to fail. I think Josh Allen is just going to be a little too much for the Broncos. Yeah, I got the Bills.
G?
Give me the Broncos. It's like what Bryce alluded to early. The Bills have a bad team around Josh Allen, and that Broncos defense at home is legit.
Okay, so y'all went different ways here. All right. I like the Bills, man. Like I said, I think Bills are coming out the AFC. Book your trip to the Super Bowl. It's going to be there. Haley Stanfield going to be at the Super Bowl. Michael B. Jordan, stay home. Not playing around. 49ers, Seahawks, man. The motherfucking 49ers, man. Goddamn 49ers. They banged up, bro. Like, T said in the group chat, hey, they just lucky to be here. That's real. But this is a divisional matchup against them. This is the third time they played the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are at home, obviously. They've been sitting down for a week. Sam Darnold does have a history of having 13, 14 wins and then going into the playoffs and laying an egg. I mean, he did it last year. So who do you guys have in this game? the Seahawks or the 49ers? G, I'm going to start with you on this one.
I'm going to say the 49ers. The 49ers, last time they played, they didn't have Trent Williams, and that defense walked all over that offense. Seattle's defense walked all over that offense. With Trent Williams in on that lineup, give me the 49ers. I still think McCaffrey and Brock Purdy is going to show out. Like I said, man, if this guy goes to the Super Bowl, which I think they are, I think this is Brock Purdy's role to let the world know I am a QB of top 5.
If Brock Purdy leads this fucking 49ers team to the Super Bowl, bro, I might do some G shit and fuck around and wear a jersey on air just for the shits and giggles too, bro. Because I don't fucking believe it, bro. No fucking way in hell are the fucking 49ers going to the Super Bowl, bro. I'll tell you that right now. Bryce, man, what do you think here? Seahawks, 49ers.
Bro, I can't bet against Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh going against Sam Darnold, bro. I got no belief in Sam Darnold as a clutch performer, bro. Yeah, I think Saleh going to drop them blitzes, get home to Darnold. Now, I will say the player to watch is JSN. If JSN gets going, it's going to be tough to stop. I'm not the biggest believer in Seattle's running game either, although I feel like they should continue with Charbonnet being RB1, like they kind of showed towards the very end of the season. But yeah, something tells me that Shanahan going to figure out a way to get past him in this game.
Okay, all right, both of you got 49ers. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it, man. I think the 49ers. I think any team probably would have beat the Eagles last week, bro. To be honest, bro. Like they was dysfunctional as hell, bro. I think the fucking Panthers probably would have beat us.
Bro, you were on the show last week talking about y'all were gonna beat.
What am I supposed to do, G? What am I supposed to do?
Yourself.
What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to show up in here and say that our team is dysfunctional? The fuck
yes.
Bro? What do you
be honest, G.
What do you want from me? This is what I'm supposed to do.
Why you talking to me like I'm your head coach and you're AJ Brown? You talking to me like that, bro? Shut your mouth.
What do you want me to do? Yes, you asked for the ball and I gave you the ball. What do you want? Go ahead, bro. Move on to the next matchup. Texans and Patriots, man. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I wasn't impressed with either of these teams last week. Patriots looked like they had the easiest schedule in the league last week. That's what they looked like to me. And it looked like they had the easiest schedule in the first round of the playoffs as well. What the fuck, bro? But here they are against the Patriots, the Texans, who also had a pretty easy schedule, playing a senior citizen and all. So even though I picked the Steelers as well. But we were looking at all those crazy stat lines, bro. It had me feeling like we had found something. Steelers.
Did we? I'm not gonna jump. See, I'm honest with myself.
I did say that. I said, the problem is with all these stats is they're all in the past. That's the problem with all of them. Bro.
But you see, I'm writing.
Aaron Rodgers is
we both agreed. We both agreed to that. We came up with some crazy concussion. We're like, yo, Mike Tomlin hasn't lost a Monday night playoff game.
Can't live in the past. Yeah, can't live in the past, bro. Clearly. Yeah. Patriots and the Texans. Patriots are at home, bro. What do y'all think here? Texans defense did have some moments. I think both of these teams suck, to be honest. But yeah, they're both these teams. Whoever wins this game is gonna lose to the Bills next week, bro. Pencil the Bills in. Like,
oh my god,
how many times I gotta say this, bro? Pencil the Bills in, bro. But anyway, Texans, Patriots. Who you got?
Give me Texans, man. They scored 2 tubs against the Steelers, and that was on their defensive end. As long as CJ Stroud is hurting my heart, man. I really thought this guy was gonna elevate, and he's been in a stagnant level right now. Just beep. But give me Houston, man. That defense is legit. I once used to live with the notion of dome teams don't play good in the cold, but Drake May wasn't impressive against the Charger. And I think that Houston, you know what they say? Good defense travel. And this is just more than good defense. This is great defense. And they're traveling. And those boys played on a cold Monday night in Pittsburgh. So what is a cold, 3 o'clock in the afternoon game? It's not even cold enough for them boys. They're going out there to play. Give me Houston.
Yeah, they also say the home teams don't travel well in the cold, but they beat the Steelers last week. But again,
Exactly.
senior citizen though, this is a real football team they're playing against. Bryce, what do you think about this one?
Patriots, Texans. Man, everything is telling me go with the Patriots, right? Which is why I got to go with the Texans right here. And this is the thing about it. I feel like the Patriots won the game last week on account of their defense. All right. To me, the Texans got the best defense in the league right now. They don't need as much from C.J. Stroud. They don't need as much from C.J. Stroud as the Patriots will need from Drake May. And that's why I'm gonna go with the Texans. I like the Texans' weapons against the Patriots defense more than I like the Patriots weapons against the Texans defense, although I'm liking how Drake May is playing better than CJ Stroud. I just think the Texans defense will rise to the occasion and get it done. So, Texans.
Yeah, I got the Patriots here. Texans defense is pretty good, but I agree. CJ Stroud has been playing kind of mid. He kind of reminds me a lot of Jordan Love. Very mid. Let's move on to the team that beat Jordan Love, the Bears, going against the Rams. So two quarterbacks that both snatched out hearts in Wild Card Weekend. Matt Stafford, who we already know, is a bad man, bro. You know what I'm saying? We had a whole season full of talking about that. Made Rome a believer, and he's still going, man. And then the Rams look fucking pretty good, man. And then the Bears, man, they look pretty good too. Continue to come back and win. Ben Johnson is hell of a play caller, man. He drew up some great plays when they needed him. He didn't run 4 verticals in crunch time. He made smart decisions and set his team up to win. And they made clutch plays as well. Caleb Williams, man, that one throw where he was falling and shit. It was like he was on some jump man shit with that joint.
Fire.
Yeah, he's crazy, man. Talented kid, man. Talented kid. But yeah, who y'all got in this one? Rams and Bears, both these teams. I think this is actually the best game of the weekend for real. Bryce, what do you think?
Give me the Rams, man. I felt like the Rams were very, very close to making the NFC Championship last year. They just had to get past the Eagles and lost them in the snow game. And I think now, they right there again, bro. They right there again. And Matt Stafford talking about he ripping hearts out. I think next hard up is the Bears, bro.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Clutch Zone, man. Hit that subscribe button, man. Fuck with us. We here every Tuesday, live, man. G, man, what's your thoughts here, man? You once said Caleb Williams was a bust, then you said last week that you were a believer. Now he's going against the Rams, who we've all said that Matt Stafford was the MVP this season. So what do you think?
Man, give me the guy who paints his nails, man. Whatever Lil Wayne said about Caleb Williams. I mean, I told you guys in the group chat, I hate hype, but I salute greatness. And what I'm watching is a great young quarterback in the making. I mean, I wasn't a believer at first.
You called him man a bust multiple times last year.
I did. I'm not scared to swallow my word. My pride ain't that big enough to admit when I'm wrong. I done took enough therapy. I talked to that lady in the room. She told me sometimes you just gotta know how to humble yourself, and I humble myself, my boy.
Let me tell you something about G, bro. G a Taurus, man. He's stubborn as hell, bro. This man not gonna change his mind about some shit for long as hell. But when he changes his mind, he gonna change his mind the other way, and he ain't gonna change his mind about that shit till long.
Just something happens. It's kind of fun.
Hey, yo, it's gonna take like a 4-pick game. G gonna come back here and say it wasn't Caleb's fault. It wasn't Caleb's fault.
We'll be right back to being a bust until enough has been proven long enough that he's just like, fuck, I gotta go back. But yeah.
I gotta go back. Hey, listen. But all jokes aside, give me the Bears to win. But I'm gonna give you a quick funny stat. Matthew against the Bears career record is 12-10. After Sunday is going to be 12-11.
Good math.
Take that how you want.
Now I thought you were going to tell me a good stat. Here's actually a good stat. I don't really know. I don't got exact stats, but I will tell you that Matt Stafford doesn't play well in the cold, and Soldier Field is very cold. So we'll see. I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Final thoughts, man, before we head out.
Man, enjoy another good football weekend, because on Monday, you get the U, baby. We're going to win the Natty. We're going to win the Natty.
Oh, yeah, quick
Here.
on that one, then. Well, let's do a quick pick on the Natty. We got Miami and Indiana. You got the U, obviously. Bryce, who you got?
Give me Indiana, man.
He's sick because we spanked Notre Dame. We won the record on that. And look at where we at. You ain't believe, my boy.
Y'all not even supposed to be there, so I'm going with Fernando.
Nah, I'm going with the U. The University of Miami playing for the national championship in Miami, bro. Man, it's gonna be a lituation on Monday. Michael Irvin about to be in rare form. But man, y'all know how we do it, man. You know how we end every show.